I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I guess I'm just going to explore and learn more about these Starcrest lovers that we learned about in Minta through our exploration. It's a good thing quest locations are very well marked in this game. There is no sign of Ma Dan at the commune. Her absence seems to have a presence all of its own. A butterfly with mismatched wings lurches from one plant to the next, sampling every flavor of nectar the grove has to offer. Ah, Ma Dan is over there. A sailor at dream. Ricky is fully awake now and smiling as the leaves tickle his face. Hey friends, have you found your chill? I guess. The trees are nice. The best. Nature knows how to relax. I mean, fish eat each other. No, you've got it all wrong. Haven't you ever seen Breve play? I figured that he wouldn't be too. This isn't the kind of person to get too riled up by a disagreement, so I thought we'd have a little fun. I guess, but isn't there more to life than just hanging out? Aren't we supposed to, help each other? Ricky offers a broad, lazy grin. I help people hang out. Sandy grins. That is important work. Not gonna protest that. Don't you ever worry? I'm always worrying. There's your problem, friend. Think too deeply and you start making rules just to try and keep the world in line. Then you end up like them. I mean, listen. He holds up a hand. The waves lap against the shore and the leaves rustle in the breeze. Right? Right. It's enough, at least for now. There's the other side of that tapestry. A tale of two halves. Ma Dan catches Iris staring at the tapestry on the wall. It's the clear partner of the half on the northeastern side. It's, Iris is unsure how to phrase the question. Ma Dan heads them off. Interesting, I suppose? I forget what voice I gave her. Visitors love to ask invasive questions about it. Iris reddens. It's a southwestern heirloom. It symbolizes the sweat, blood, and tears our side of the community endured before the divide. It's just as beautiful as the other half, Sanny. She's not going to like the fact that we've been there. Ma Dan smiles a brittle smile. Such pretty colors. Imagine how much prettier it could be if you repaired it. Blockheaded as a breve. Iris opens their mouth to interpret, but Sanny doesn't need it. I got it. Have some tact, Sanny. Sorry, I know what it's like when traditions get stuck. Nonsense, pure nonsense. You want to spend your time cooped up in rules and regulations? Be their guest. I won't be trying that. Not again. There's a story there. Sandy opens her mouth to ask, but Ma Dan has already bustled back to her shelves. She's not so much tidying them as just changing the shape of the chaos. Alright. A lot going on. Sandy peers at a pile of clutter and discarded trinkets. Huh, I wonder if it's here on purpose. Like a free-for-all. Leave what you don't want, take what you do. That bit there's pretty, look. Iris rolls their eyes. Sandy, that's garbage. What are you looking at? It's a pile of rubbish. Careful! What if it's important? Iris stares, then raises their volume a notch. This is a perfectly average pile of rubbish. Ma Dan is bothered by the racket and throws a side-eye their way. Oops. A strangely worked piece of wood dangles from a beam, rattling against the posts. Well, we're gonna need that. But before we do this, maybe we should go to the other side of the island? Maybe? Oop. Lovers. I'll never leave her. By the bluewood tree, two young people are in a deep embrace. They're so wrapped up in each other that they don't notice Iris and Sandy approaching. Do we just interrupt? They're so cute. Hello? The sweethearts leap apart and stare at Iris and Sandy, aghast. I was just helping her, use Pata. We are friends who are visiting this island. We've never been here before. I love a good friend hug. A really deep friend hug. And I absolutely do not think you take after your parents. The lover's look of shame turns to a mortified horror. No, don't worry, we literally don't care. We've already worked it out. Or read all about it, at least. You're Vince Marin. You're Leia Dan. You've been meeting here in secret. It's a whole thing. A modern-day Aruna and Esmeralda. You weren't there for that story, Sandy. How do you know it? But that's not my business. Where's the ship? Vince's mouth hangs open, almost to the muddy floor. Sandy's voice is now open and serious. People were taken. Our friends, our family. By that ship with the silent sails. You've seen it, haven't you? Vince gathers himself. Perhaps all is not lost after all. We might have. Okay, kids, take a breath. But whatever you've got, we need to hear it. When the words come, they come in a rush. They came for Vince. Because I can dream sail. Vince is the best in generations, and their captain, Kay's... Is that his whole name, or was he cut off? Tried to take Vince away from me. And spun a tale of some calamity only I could help fix. Vince didn't believe a word. I didn't, and I wouldn't leave. Iris blinks, taking in the rush of information. Kay's? Their captain, who flies the Indigo sails. Kay's is very charming. Vince scowls. Not as charming as you, my love, but, you know, charismatic. Persistent. But they couldn't take you away from me. Vince and Leia cling together, looking deep into each other's eyes. And where was the ship going next? And then spring apart as they remember they have company. They don't know. Captain Kay's mentioned some kind of beacon, I don't know where. Please, oh please, don't tell anyone you saw us. Of course we'll keep your secret. A romance like this, it's a shame, but we'll keep it. It's so beautiful, though. Don't you think your love might have the power to heal? Leia and Vince are only slightly less confounded than when they were discovered. What are you talking about? Who here would ever listen to us? No one will hear about it. This tree is all we have. It's enough. It has to be. They both reach out and touch it, reassuringly solid. And we have a plan. Leia is going to fake her death. And Vince is going to run away. Uh-oh. I know this story. Kids, don't do it. It's very clever. Sandy and Iris stare. Right. Nothing can go wrong with that. Especially not if fate intervenes or anything. Leia and Vince frown. It's so sad that you even have to think of any of this. I hope you find a way. Leia takes Vince's hand as Sandy and Iris turn away. Okay, so we learned something. I mean, that seemed big. Maybe we should just go here and talk to Ma Dan. Running smoothly. Iris and Sandy peruse the depot's shelves as Ma Dan sorts through a pile of rags. Sandy picks up an intricately carved wooden crank and spins it in her hands. What's this? Iris shrugs, unsure. It's pretty, but it's just a handle, right? The answer suddenly dawns on Sandy. The box! It looks just like the beautiful mystery box! Iris's eyes widen. Rooting around in their bag, Iris produces the box, which indeed has a divot into which they are able to insert the crank. They wind the delicate mechanisms inside. In gentle chimes and crackling vocals, the music box plays a song in Minton, a faded voice telling tales of times gone by, times, in fact, of united Minta. Sandy claps her hands together, quietly. Lovely, but what does it say? Iris listens and tries to translate. Now a people divided, now a land rent in two, with cloth torn asunder, now never to renew. So sad, that rusted divide. I just don't get it. After a while, you just have to forgive and forget, right? Things have changed so much since this song was written. Could they ever change back? Ma Dan calls from across the depot. Ugh. What's that racket? Sounds like nor'easter music. No soul to it at all. Iris and Sandy share a sad smile. Maybe some things are too broken to fix. Sandy feels like she's helping. I think I kind of helped that along by having Iris not be sure what it was. I didn't do that on purpose, but I'm glad it helped Sandy feel like she's helping. Alright, now what do we do? We can go back into the Solitude Hut. The windmill turns with a smooth, silent glide. It's clearly kept well oiled and finely tuned. A sour lick of fruit scent travels on the midday breeze. Sour, but Stu would still happily toss it into, well, a stew. Vegetables grow in neat, orderly rows, kept completely free of weeds. It's an impressive crop. Thawing out. Sandy stubs her toe on the large inventory chalkboard. Ouch! The trader comes over. You hurt? Oh gosh, it's fine, I think. Sandy tries and fails to compose herself. Gosh, it smarts. It's better not to walk into things, I think. Right, thank you. I'm doing fine though, really. She's fine, thank you. The trader grunts. Let's look in the commune again. We can talk to that kid again. Father Fritchett stands with his pointy chin in his hand, perhaps contemplating his most recent trip, transcending time and space. Now, why does this ship look for some dream sailors and not others? Like, why Vince seems to be Father Fritchett's apprentice. So why did the Indigo ship come for Vince and not for Father Fritchett? You know? Famous Father Fritchett. Father Fritchett is supervising the cleaning, watching closely as each speck of dirt is wiped away. I see you are still with us. I hope you are not disordering things. We're, still looking around. How spontaneous of you. For anything in particular? I don't remember his voice either. We've been following a ship. Indigo sails and stuff. Have you seen it? I should have mentioned Maya. He knows Maya. I forgot. We think it took our friend, Maya. And my sister, Mandy. They're, gone. And we're trying to find them. Was it Maya that he knew, or was it Annette? No, Celeste. He knew Celeste, that's who. Darn it, I forgot. Forget I said anything about Maya. He knew Celeste, not Maya. Ah, Maya. You know her? Or maybe he did know her. don't listen to me at all. Certainly, though I met her less often than your Celeste. A unique presence. That certainly explains. He shakes his head. I'm afraid I cannot help you. Vince mentioned that. Do not talk to me of Vince. We just meant that. I don't know what's gotten into that child. All discipline vanished. Going wherever he pleases. Sandy grins awkwardly. Relatable. Hard to carry the weight of duty sometimes. And what would you know about it? He's saying you don't understand. Yeah, I picked that up. He's not gonna want advice. It's tough when people we care about start to move away from us. Pritchett's frown deepens. Sometimes you gotta give people space. And where has that ever got us? Chaos and calamity. Feelings and desires spilling all over the place. We let go of what didn't serve us long ago. Iris chews their lip. I don't know. Sounds like you still have some stuff to let go of. Pritchett turns away. We are managing just fine. Not so sure. Let's talk to this kid again. Feedback required. Sean fervently puts the last touches on a vibrant painting. Ta-da! What do you think? It's so cool. I love it. It's like all the colors of the rainbow got together and had babies. Sean smiles shyly. Iris looks on, dubious. Sure. Oh. That's it? That's all with Sean? Aw, they're a sweet kid. Alright. Ah, yes, that girl is probably gone. That girl who is listening to the races is gone now, so we can listen in on our radio. Tuning in. The hut is empty now. Iris breathes a sigh of relief and begins setting up their radio. A burst of rig-running commentary briefly rings out. Resting sports. This is really a special spot, eh? Iris shrugs. Could be the hills, could be the local weather patterns, but this is where everything points. Either way, if I calibrate the aerial like this... A ghastly scream of static bursts from the radio. Yikes! I nearly jumped out of my skin! Iris winces, covering the speaker. Sorry, gain's too high. Wait. They adjust the radio, and the screeching noise resolves into a clearer message. Pete, Ben Coves, cordial retrieved. High winds detected. Head to the beacon. The message repeat on a cycle, until Iris turns off the radio in frustration. Ugh, I'm not getting it. That's it. That's all there is. Sandy pulls her face into an image of hope. Don't worry, it's something, eh? This so-called beacon must be important. Iris turns away from the radio, eyes on the muddy floor. There's something wrong. I just don't know. Iris bangs their fists together in frustration. Hey, don't worry. We'll take the message back to the rest of the crew. They're a smart bunch. We'll work it out. Reckon it's time to head back and fill them in? Sandy nods.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Iris packs away their radio, not meeting Sandy's eye. "110 uses of Caton, live from Los Gatos. Today, tip number 73, nesting material for noplings." A glitch in the waves. In the door of the hut, Iris stops, suddenly slapping their palm on their forehead.
Oh.
Of course! They move over and retune the dial. For a moment, the signal is clearer. Seas, about the wave of waves, and then silent once more. Iris mutters to themselves below their breath, their hands moving lightning fast across the dials. Maybe... I think Sandy probably feels like she's helped enough. I think the reason is it's modulating. It's got to be, right? I just want to let Iris have their moment. But that means we need to know the modulation to fully tune into it. Iris flicks the dial. Something strange, widening, the truth in time. That's even better. That's good, right? What did you find out? Iris looks up, blinking, as if they had forgotten Sandy was there. It's more about how. I think this signal is being hand modulated. I thought it was just theoretical. It changes as it's broadcast, slipping in and out of focus, unless you know the code. Sounds impressive. Sandy offers another smattering of applause. Iris sighs. It means, I think, that if we can find out what the modulation pattern is, we'll be able to fully receive it. I'll tell the others when we get back. That's rad. It wasn't just theoretical. Cool. Alright. Is there nothing else to look at over here? Just the two lovers canoodling? Let's see. A mystery pursued. Vince's temptation. Issel's radio. The mysterious crank, Leah Dan, Vince Moran, and the two tapestry fragments. We haven't found the counterpart to the Nyarfi Roost guard, and I have no idea what this means. What? How can this be House of Holes, this page be House of Holes, but have an odd number of stickers on it? That's weird. Alright. I guess we'll get back to the boat. Yes. It's time to tell the crew what was learned here. Neshko listens to a pair of noplings chatter side by side in the surf, a smile on his lips. Merle is tickling Ade, whose delighted giggles drift across Minta's still bay. Iris is trying something new out on the radio array when Stu shouts over. Well, did you find any food? Stu pointedly does not turn around from her cooking as Iris approaches. Packet of Breve. Smells good. Should last a couple of days. Or just a night the way things have been going. Ha! Apologize. I'm sorry if I make your job harder. I want to help. Stu turns and gives Iris an appraising look. Alright, Puckle. Thanks for the Breve, you're a help. But I'm still going to get to the bottom of this mess. It's, not your fault. What isn't? Everyone forgets stuff when they get, oh, come on, Iris. I was trying to help you. I made you apologize. Now you're calling her old. Come on. Stu's expression shatters into a scowl. Stop right there. She's acting angry, but there's real hurt there. Iris backs off, looking guilty. Iris encourages Stu to doubt herself. Oh, God. Oh, no. Ah. Iris, in trying to keep a secret, accidentally encourages Stu to doubt herself. Yuck. So that is an issue that stemmed from another issue that I don't think is going to get resolved unless Iris reveals the stowaway. Yeah. Okay. The return. Molpe has been watching the pair board the ship, wrapping her fingers impatiently. Well, news? We've got something. We need better than something. I tried. I did my best. Molpe looks around as if an answer can be found in the air. Well, get everyone together and you can explain. Two halves of the island seem to shiver with resentment in the midday sun. Are you ready for the crew to decide their next steps? Yes. It's time to proceed. The waves call. The crew have gathered to hear what Sandy and Iris discovered. And they really never talk to each other? It's horrible! Surely a skilled negotiator could. They really never talk to each other. Didn't you try help? Or try to help, maybe? Of course, but they didn't want it. We tried. The crew falls into an uncomfortable quiet. Not all wounds can be healed overnight, nor by incomers. So, the ship with the indigo sails, did you find anything? The silent ship has been here too. The crew stir at this news. They tried to take someone.
Oh.
Yeah, a dream sailor. Nice guy. He was in an illicit affair with... She catches Iris's eye. Well, anyway, he turned down their captain, Kays. Seems like a bad sort. Kays. With a C. Peculiar name. I wonder where it originates. Where's the ship headed? We're not sure. Someplace called the Beacon. The Beacon? Not a beacon? The? I've never heard of it. Iris is wringing their hands, their face stricken. Iris got their message. They did well. Just needs a bit of, complicated decoding. I don't know. I don't know where they've gone. I don't know what it means. The uncomfortable quiet returns. Sorry, I had to scratch my ear. The uncomfortable quiet returns, thicker than ever. It seems we do know rather more than before. We have the name of their captain and their destination. We know they have their sights on a peculiar range of people, dream sailors as well as people with special talents or knowledge. And we know they make use of long-distance radio for communication. Sandy sees that Iris is struggling to try and say something. Hey, everyone, please, can you all just give Iris a second to speak, okay? They all look at her, and then Iris, who takes a deep breath. It's not huge, it's just... They close their eyes. The frequency, the strength of the signal on Minta helped me figure it out. It's experimental technology, theoretical, really, but if it's... They open their eyes and look around, finding their footing now. What was that noise? Who made that noise? I think they're hand modulating the frequency as they transmit it. It sounds like a weak signal. But actually, I think it's an extraordinarily strong one, stronger even than Seesaw. What you need to know is the rhythm of the modulation and the direction. You tune with that, and you hear the full message. The crew look flabbergasted, trying to take this in. I know it's not much, but fascinating. You're basically a genius. Extra brief stew for you tonight.
Yes.
Impressive. Iris beams. You see, we are progressing. Iris looks gratefully at Neshko, who smiles back. But we still need a new heading. Why did she look at Neshko? Maybe that meant Sani? Because Neshko is the other person who can go with her to with them to Minta? I don't know. If news has reached anywhere, it will have reached the float. Ooh, the float. Maybe. It's busy enough there. Or the Grace? If this case is recruiting dream sailors, perhaps the guides will know. Molpe tries to speak, but all of a sudden exhaustion and sadness breaks over her like a wave. Stu notices.
No.
Molpe, you decide, Stu. You're tired. That's what happens when you don't sleep. Grace, float, wherever. I'm going to bed. They look sadly after her as she heads to her bunk. Alright. If news has reached anywhere, it will have reached the float, so we could go back to the float. You haven't been there yet. If Kay's is recruiting dream sailors, then the Grace might be the place to go for that. I think that the Grace seems like a better option. Part of me does kind of want to go back to the float because I think it would make for an interesting story to head back there. Although I do have a suspicion that the stowaway is the girl we met in the float who came talking to Annette. So she might not want to go back to the float. So maybe we don't want to take her there. I think that the Grace seems like a stronger lead above all else. So there's plenty I'd like to ask the guides. We'll try the Grace. Merle nods. They've got to try something. Iris sits back, a mix of triumph and sadness. Ooh, I got an achievement with a gold outline. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Alright, so we're going to the Grace. And cutscene. The baby. That cat that shows up in the clouds is taunting me. Because we could have gone to Los Gatos. We could have. But we didn't. I do really like that Sandy gets added to this intro. Alright. Stu, how about you get your time to shine? If we can take you to the Grace, then we will take you to the Grace. It seems that Maya is wrapped up in something, if not dangerous, at least suspicious. Can the crew uncover more? Nice. Molpe and Ade sailing. Uh-oh, they hit another storm. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yes, that's the girl! That's the girl from the float! I was right. That is absolutely the same person. Stowaway comes to the rescue. And drops... Is that the anchor? She drops the anchor. Okay. What a welcome. Dropped anchor, just like that. Took over the helm and all. The ship groans, straining against its tether. The crew have gathered to process their shock at the sudden appearance of a stowaway and to work out how to proceed. Molpe focuses on the newcomer, Kiddick. You'd better join us. Iris pulls them in to sit next to them. That'll be the stolen food solved then. Where's Sanny? I can't believe you just let me think I was imagining it. Neshko leans back as though trying to get as far away from the conflict as possible. I feel like perhaps there are too many of us. No one is listening to him. He decides full retreat is possible. Where's Sanny? Oh, asleep, I believe. Through all this? Merle shrugs. I think that people are gonna be mad. Let's get it all out.
Hey.
Why hide the stowaway from us? Iris stares, their mouth opening and closing. It was just a tiny bit of food. I didn't know at first. I promise. I was following cabling and found them, and it was me. I asked them not to. You let me think I was forgetting things. Merle and Molpe have given up on trying to focus on the fog. It is a rather serious breach of trust. We would have shared supplies. I know you know the rules of passage. You lied. If you don't have trust, you don't have a crew at all. Iris is silent. Look, you have to let me explain. I hid. I was scared, and I made Iris keep me secret. But I came on board because I had to. You need me. No one knows what to say to this. Kiddick's hands are clenched by their sides, their face flushed beneath their thatch of hair. They look to Iris. No, I take the blame. I chose to keep them secret, to lie. They turn to Stu especially. I'm sorry. Iris's back is straight now, ready to take the consequences. Stu's face softens just a fraction. There'll be a lot more to say about this. There will. Ahem. They look at him. He gestures at the fog curling in and settling on the galley floor. You say, we need you?
Huh?
We were going at some clip when you dropped anchor. Why did you do it? I want to believe you had good reason. I can't imagine Iris protecting a saboteur. Kiddick and Iris are genuinely shocked by the word. That's it. The current we were caught on. Stu bristles at the we. It leads to the scrapes. The inescapable scrapes? Iris is alarmed. They didn't know.
No.
Nonsense. I've been on this heading 1,000 times. One of the traveling currents? Kiddick nods firmly. You believe this? A moment. Then Stu gives Molpe a curt nod. He's heard something like this before. That's good enough for Molpe. There's a long pause. But we're secure so long as we're anchored? This is to Kiddick. They nod. Then I need some tea. Kiddick exhales in relief.
Agreed.
But then we sit down and you'll explain everything. The crew don't understand why Iris and Kiddick lied. Stu is angry at Iris for concealing Kiddick's taking supplies. Kiddick has an unspoken crush on Iris. I did not pick that up. Thank you for telling me that, game. The crew take a minute to gather themselves. Oh boy. You know what? I think that I will probably end the episode here, and next time we will speak more with Kiddick and learn more about them. Until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Salt Sea Chronicles.